Your current financial state isn't a permanent barrier, it's a reflection of your verbal patterns. You are not cursed or forgotten, you are simply out of sync with divine principles. Every financial gain or loss in your life has responded to one fundamental element: your spoken word. This isn't about your desires, efforts, or hard work, but rather your words, spoken with rhythm, faith, and in harmony with the unseen laws that govern all resources. I'm not speaking as a philosopher today, but as someone who has witnessed individuals transition from financial hardship to prosperity, not through strategic planning, but through the power of their spoken declarations. Their financial situation shifted when their language changed. Their circumstances yielded to their speech. This knowledge was withheld from you because the world prefers you to be in a state of constant striving, reacting to circumstances. However, spiritual law encourages declaration, and divine law promotes command. When you speak in alignment with these higher principles, wealth becomes a tool, not a master. Therefore, I ask you, are you ready to stop focusing on your current limitations and start vocalizing your abundance? Are you prepared to reject the idea that money is random and embrace the truth that it responds to your words? Your mouth is not merely an ornament. It is the divine control center of manifestation, the means through which the unseen materializes. The moment you speak in harmony with the spiritual realm, lack must dissipate. Now, let's begin. Allow me to share what has been concealed from you. Let me guide your voice to become a command for wealth. Let me reveal the 9 spoken laws that can transform everything. In the beginning, there was the Word, not effort, not strategy, not human intellect, the Word. And the Word was with God, and the Word was God. This isn't merely poetry, it's a blueprint, a revelation, a divine instruction. If the universe itself was brought into existence through speech, how can you doubt that your financial reality responds to the same principle? You are not separate from the source. You were created in the image of the Creator, and being made in that image means possessing the ability to speak form into existence. You have shaped your current reality through your words. The real tragedy isn't that your voice is weak, but that it has been misdirected. You have expressed struggle while hoping for abundance. You have spoken negatively about your finances while praying for increase. You have repeated phrases like "it's never enough" and "I don't know how I'll make it," and then wondered why divine resources remained inaccessible. However, spiritual law doesn't negotiate, it fulfills what you articulate, it amplifies what you consistently repeat. It delivers not what you desire, but what you assert with conviction. Every principle of wealth is activated by vibration, and vibration is released through the spoken word. When you speak, you're not just making sounds, you're issuing spiritual commands. You're instructing your subconscious and setting creative power in motion. This power obeys not your effort, emotions, or beliefs, but your word when spoken with rhythm, faith, and authority. It becomes law. This is why I teach spoken truth, not whispered hope. This is why I encourage you to speak aloud, daily, rhythmically, because your voice isn't solely for communication, it's for creation. Until your words change, your world cannot. You may believe a truth in your heart, but until you speak it into existence, the law remains inactive. The spiritual realm responds to vibration, not silence. You were never taught this because the world prefers you to be quiet, to remain trapped in thought, bound by confusion, reacting instead of commanding. But you are not here to be a supplicant at the door of wealth. You are here to be a commander of spiritual resources, and your command begins with your word. So now, I will teach you what was hidden. I will show you how to speak with power, rhythm, and faith. I will provide the 9 laws that govern wealth through vocalization, not to impress you, but to set you free. Because when your tongue aligns with these principles, your life becomes extraordinary. Your tongue is not merely flesh, it is a force. It is the gateway through which divine law enters the material world. It is the instrument that cuts through the illusion of scarcity. If you do not train it, it will betray you. It will echo your fears instead of your beliefs. It will rehearse what you observe instead of declaring what must be. That is why the spoken word must be disciplined. You don't achieve wealth by simply thinking positively. You achieve it by speaking with rhythm, authority, and complete alignment between your spirit and your speech. Most people speak like beggars. They express hope with their lips but doubt with their breath. They use affirmations but then undermine them with complaints. They declare abundance and then say things like money just isn't coming in or I never catch a break. This isn't spiritual power. It's vibrational confusion. And law doesn't reward confusion. It fulfills clarity, obeys consistency, and amplifies what is spoken with rhythm. So, I teach you now, stop merely describing your life, declare it. Stop waiting for conditions to change before you alter your language. Change your language, and circumstances will comply. Begin each day with truth, not as a wish, but as a law. Say, my words are divine substance. I do not speak opinion, I speak wealth. Speak to your bank account, to your bills, to your email inbox, to the wallet in your hand. Do not report what you see, command what must appear. This is not pretense, this is training. You are not speaking to feel better. You are speaking to form reality, and that formation occurs through rhythm, through spoken substitution. Every time you have a fear-based thought, replace it with a declaration. Every time your mouth opens to complain, interrupt it with truth. Say, I am the vessel of divine supply. All that is mine by spiritual right appears. Now say, because I speak in rhythm, I receive in rhythm. Say, my words are wealth in seed form. You are no longer permitted to dwell on fear. You are not allowed to joke about being broke. You are not allowed to repeat old programming and then ask for new provision. Your voice must become a sanctuary, a temple, a frequency chamber, where only truth is allowed to echo. And that truth, when spoken consistently, becomes belief. And that belief, when combined with rhythm, becomes form. Start with a journal. Write the declarations that most challenge your old identity. Read them aloud every morning. Speak them again at noon. Reaffirm them again at night. This isn't superstition. This is spiritual architecture. You are not merely trying to get rich. You are becoming the person who cannot avoid it, because once your words align with law, wealth cannot resist you. There is a science to speech, a rhythm to spoken creation. Once you learn it, not just intellectually but instinctively, your world begins to obey your words instead of your emotions. These first three laws are the foundation. They are the pillars upon which all spoken wealth rests. Do not bypass them. Do not rush them. They are not mere concepts. They are frequencies, and when adhered to, they transform the unseen into visible form. Law 1. The law of creative declaration. The first law is simple, absolute, and divine. I speak wealth, and wealth obeys. This isn't poetic, it's a vibrational principle. Your words create molds, and into these molds, substance must pour. You do not wait to see change before you declare it. You speak it, knowing that divine law never returns empty. Say, money flows to me richly and endlessly. Say, the channels of supply are wide open. Say, I speak wealth into form now, not later. You declare not as one seeking permission, but as one possessing authority. This law dismantles passive affirmations. It removes the timid hopefulness of vague spirituality. This isn't manifestation through emotion, this is manifestation through divine command. And when your voice aligns with truth, nothing can resist the form it demands. Law 2. The law of repetition. What you repeat, you resurrect. Most people unconsciously repeat failure. They repeat lack as humor, worry, or habit. They don't realize their repetition is a recreation. But now, you will reverse this. You will choose what to repeat. You will choose what to resurrect. You will speak wealth so consistently, so rhythmically, so boldly, that the entire structure of your subconscious begins to shift toward increase. Don't worry if it feels unnatural at first. That's a positive sign. It means you are rewiring your inner rhythm. The first time you say, I am richly supplied, your body may resist. Say it again and again until the old rhythm breaks, until the inner conflict shatters, until your voice becomes your natural language of wealth. Repetition is not foolishness. It is spiritual programming. It is how law rewrites the script of your reality. Law 3. The law of substitution. Every time a fear-based thought tries to escape your lips, stop it. Replace it. Speak a greater truth. That is the law of substitution. You cannot hold two vibrations at once. So, when one arises, you choose the dominant one. When lack says, this won't work, you say, it is already working. When fear says, what if I fail? You answer, divine success is inevitable for me. When doubt says, be realistic, you declare, I serve spiritual law. not appearances. You are no longer a slave to reactive speech. You are now a master of substitution. You replace reaction with rhythm, fear with resolve, confusion with command. These three laws, creative declaration, repetition, and substitution, form the root system of all spoken wealth. Practice them daily, speak them aloud, imprint them into your spirit, because once these are established, your voice becomes law, and once your voice becomes law, your life becomes proof. If the first three laws build your foundation, the next three laws purify your alignment. These are the laws that bridge the gap between what you say and what you actually experience. Many speak of wealth but radiate fear. Many affirm abundance but contradict it with their tone, with jokes, with casual self-sabotage. But spiritual law is precise. It amplifies clarity, not mere intention. If your signal is fragmented, your harvest will be scattered. These three laws bring your vibration into agreement so that when you speak, your entire being becomes the command. Law 4, the law of non-contradiction. You cannot bless and curse with the same tongue. You cannot affirm abundance in the morning and complain about bills in the afternoon. You cannot speak prosperity and joke about being broke. The universe doesn't interpret your sincerity. It interprets your consistent rhythm, what you say most often, not what you intend to say. This law demands purity of speech. It demands consistency of vibration. It demands that your tongue no longer plays both sides. Say this now: I do not contradict myself. My word is pure. My word is law. Every time you're tempted to contradict truth, pause. Speak a higher word. Speak the greater law. You are no longer rehearsing both faith and fear. You are choosing a side, and because you choose truth, your reality will reflect only truth. Law 5. The law of divine naming. You must learn to name things accurately. What you name, you claim. What you label, you establish. Most people name their situation based on fear. They call it bad luck, a disaster, never-ending struggle, and spiritual law responds, so be it. But you must name your world according to truth. You do not call it debt. You call it a temporary appearance, now dissolving. You do not call it a recession. You call it a divine reallocation of wealth into my hands. You name what you desire, not what you fear. Remember how God brought order to chaos by naming, "Let there be light, let the waters be gathered." He did not describe, he did not explain. He named, and what was named appeared. This law is yours to live by. Speak it. I name what must appear. I name supply into visibility. I name myself wealthy, and so I become. Law 6. The law of embodied tone. Your words are not just sentences, they are carriers of frequency, and the tone with which you speak determines their power. If you affirm with uncertainty, you infuse the declaration with doubt. If you speak from weariness, the vibration is weakened. But when you speak from embodiment, when your tone reflects ownership, the law responds immediately. This is why some people affirm daily and see no results. Their tone betrays their inner state. They are reciting, not commanding. But you must speak as one already supplied. You must speak wealth like it is oxygen. You must declare with the voice of the already answered. Say, my tone carries the wealth I command. I speak as one who already has. I do not ask, I declare. When you live by these three laws, non-contradiction, divine naming, and embodied tone, you no longer send mixed signals into the field. You become a clear vessel, a sonic channel, a vibrational authority, and your voice becomes magnetic. It attracts without strain. It draws without chasing. Because now you no longer speak from effort. You speak from alignment. Now that your foundation is set and your alignment is purified, we move to the laws of manifestation and multiplication. These final three laws are not passive truths. They are spiritual tools. They move money, dissolve barriers, open gates, and they do not wait for perfect conditions. They wait for bold obedience. These are the laws of divine speech that call things forth. Bless your efforts and ensure that every word you release returns to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Law 7. The law of prophetic speech. You are not here to speak what is. You are here to speak what must be. Prophetic speech is not prediction. It is not forecasting. It is authoritative. Command over the unseen. You do not speak based on your emotions. You speak based on divine law. You speak to create, not to react. When the bills arrive, you say, this is already paid by invisible substance, now made visible. When a client cancels, you say, Something better is already being arranged by divine mind. You do not echo facts, you release truth. Prophetic speech bends time. It collapses, waiting. It announces supply as if it were already walking through your door. Say, I speak the future. I command. I call forth what belongs to me now. My word is prophetic. It does not return void. Law 8. The law of sealed giving. Giving without words is a missed opportunity. It's like planting a seed without water. But when you speak over every gift, every tithe, every act of generosity, you activate multiplication. This is the law of sealed giving. You do not drop money in silence. You do not transfer funds without rhythm. You say, this seed is blessed. It returns multiplied. It opens divine doors no person can shut. This is not superstition. It is spiritual mathematics. Every gift, when sealed with words, becomes a divine transaction, and law does not ignore a spoken offering. It records it, honors it, and increases it. Even when you give small, give boldly. Say, even my smallest seed carries infinite power, because I speak over it. Law 9. The law of return. Every word you release is like a boomerang. It leaves your lips and returns with form. You speak peace. It returns as clarity. You speak wealth. It returns as opportunity. You speak multiplication, and law rushes to obey. The law of return is absolute. It does not choose sides. It does not hesitate. It fulfills your frequency. If you speak in doubt, it returns delay. If you speak in certainty, it returns acceleration. Say, what I speak returns to me, multiplied, pressed down, and overflowing. My words are the seeds of my wealth. The return is guaranteed because the law is sealed. When you live by these final laws, prophetic speech, sealed giving, and return, you become a spiritual architect. You build wealth with your voice. You assign every word a mission. You declare the outcome from the beginning, and the law, being faithful, responds. Because now your speech is not casual. It is a covenant. It is not a suggestion. It is spiritual. Instructions sent into the field to return with your good, and it must return. Now that you know the 9 laws, you must become the vessel that embodies them, because knowledge without practice is delay. And the only thing that ever obstructs your abundance is your undisciplined mind, not people. Not the market, not chance, but the unconscious programming operating beneath your declarations, the beliefs that contradict your spoken truth. But the subconscious mind is not your adversary, it is your amplifier. It simply repeats what it hears with rhythm and emotion, and it cannot distinguish between what is imagined and what is real. It only records and repeats. It only implements what is consistently spoken and consistently felt. So now, you must begin the reprogramming. You must speak these 9 laws, not just once, but rhythmically. Speak them morning, midday, and night. Speak them when you're inspired. Speak them when you're tired. Speak them until your old vibration crumbles under the influence of your new voice. You do not need to feel it for it to work. You simply need to repeat it until the old self is overwritten by the new rhythm. Here is your practice. In the morning, upon rising, speak the first 3 laws aloud. Creative, declaration, repetition, substitution. Set the tone before the world can interfere. Say, I speak wealth, and wealth obeys. Say, my tongue creates divine conditions. Midday, align with the laws of speech. Correct your contradictions. Reiterate your truth. Refuse to discuss scarcity. If you find yourself reacting, stop and substitute immediately. Say, I name only what I desire. My tone carries my wealth. In the evening, conclude the day with the final 3 laws. Speak over your giving. Speak into your future. Anticipate your return. Let your subconscious drift into rest under the sound of your own prophetic command. Say, this seed is blessed and multiplied. Say, every word I speak returns to me fulfilled. The law doesn't require you to shout, but it does require you to believe. And belief isn't a feeling. It's a frequency of words repeated until the subconscious yields. The old narratives will resist. The patterns will push back, but you do not yield. You do not explain. You do not overthink. You speak again. You repeat again. You substitute again until the programming shifts, until your inner dialogue changes, until you no longer simply affirm truth, you become it. When you do this consistently, your external life cannot resist. Conditions begin to change. Supply begins to flow. Opportunities appear effortlessly. Why? Because you are no longer a divided signal. You are a unified rhythm of divine law. This is not a trick. This is not a shortcut. This is spiritual reprogramming through rhythmic speech. And once it is ingrained, it becomes your natural state. Because now, wealth doesn't just visit you, it resides in your voice. You have heard the laws, you have sensed the vibration, you have seen the structure behind your spoken word. But knowledge without action is still delay. Revelation without practice is still untapped power. And so now, I give you this challenge, not as a punishment, but as preparation. If you are ready to live as the commander of wealth, then you must speak as one. You must live as one. You must act as one, because wealth is not waiting on your worthiness. It is waiting on your command. Here is your challenge. Choose any 3 of the 9 laws, the ones that resonated most deeply with you, the ones that challenged your old ways, the ones that whispered, "This is what you've forgotten." Then, for 7 days, speak those 3 laws aloud 7 times a day, not to impress a higher power, not to manipulate money, but to build vibrational momentum so precise, so undeniable, that reality itself must reconfigure in your favor. Create a decree, write it by hand, place it where you cannot avoid seeing it. Read it aloud at sunrise. Speak it in the midst of daily activity. Declare it over your wallet, your phone, your schedule, your bank accounts. Let your voice infuse everything you touch with the vibration of truth. Let your sound become a force that cuts through the illusion of delay. And when resistance comes, and it will, do not falter. Do not seek confirmation. Do not check the numbers. Do not inspect the outcome before the foundation is laid. Just speak again. Rhythm is the key. Rhythm is the law. Rhythm is the portal through which substance takes form. Say this now with me. I do not describe my life. I declare it. I do not wait for wealth. I call it forth. I am not hoping for a breakthrough. I am commanding substance. Stop trying to be ready. Be rhythmic. Stop trying to feel powerful. Be obedient. The vibration doesn't need your mood. It needs your voice. This is not theory. This is not motivation. This is not a pep talk disguised as scripture. This is spiritual law, and it awaits your adherence. You've asked, when will it come? The answer is when you speak and do not stop speaking. When you declare and do not retreat. When you plant the same word repeatedly until the harvest is inevitable. The spiritual realm is listening. The field is open. The substance is moving. But it's not your desire that activates it. It's your voice. So rise now. Choose your 3 laws. Speak them daily. Seal your giving. Eliminate your contradictions. Embody your tone. And return to the rhythm again and again until the spoken word becomes the spoken wealth. You are no longer available for scarcity. You are no longer dwelling on limitations. You are no longer waiting for the world to agree, because you have decided. And once you decide in alignment with law, creation obeys. Now, let us engrave it. Let us seal the vibration with rhythm. Let us program your reality with force. These are not affirmations to soothe the ego. These are declarations to restructure the unseen. This is your instrument. This is your rhythm. This is your spiritual economy rewritten by the power of your voice. Say aloud with power, my voice creates wealth. I do not wonder. I do not wish. I declare, and it is done. Every word I speak is a seed of increase. I plant in rhythm. I reap in rhythm. There is no delay in law. I do not echo lack. I command supply. My tongue is no longer available for fear. It speaks only what aligns with truth. I offer with words. I give with command. I receive with authority. Every seed is sealed in speech. Every return is guaranteed by law. My tone carries the frequency of wealth. I speak as one already supplied. I declare as one already filled. Because I obey the laws of spoken wealth, money cannot ignore me, not sometimes, not maybe, never again. I speak, and law responds. I declare, and doors open. Say it again. Because I obey the laws of spoken wealth, money cannot ignore me. Feel that. Let it penetrate your being. Let it replace the old language of lack. Let it surge through you like a new agreement. Speak it when you awaken. Speak it when you forget. Speak it when doubt arises. Speak it until your frequency becomes undeniable. You are not repeating to convince yourself. You are repeating to program creation. The field responds to rhythm, and rhythm is the ultimate form of faith. Now, seal it. Let your final decree resonate through the atmosphere. I am the voice of wealth, and I cannot be silenced. If this message resonated with you, if it awakened the part of you that always knew wealth was spiritual, always felt your words carried power, always sensed that lack was an illusion, then do not let this moment pass without impact. Don't let it be just another teaching. Let it transform you. Let it shape you. Let it become your new covenant with divine law. Comment below the one law that most profoundly affected your old patterns, the one you were never taught but will now never forget. Was it the law of creative declaration, the law of embodied tone, or the law of sealed giving? Write it, speak it, claim it not for me, but for you, for your reality, for the unseen realm that awaits your command. And if this message of truth felt like a homecoming, subscribe not to follow me, but to align with rhythm, because every video here is not entertainment, it is recalibration, it is spiritual alignment. It is your daily return to the truth that you are not a seeker, you are a speaker. You are not a supplicant, you are a builder. You are not waiting for provision, you are commanding it through divine law. Return tomorrow. Watch again. Speak again. Choose a law and embody it. And remember, rhythm is not just a tool, it is the vibration that reorders everything. When you obey spoken law, spoken wealth obeys you. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not broken. You are the voice. You are the rhythm. You are the gateway. And because you obey law, money cannot ignore you. And so it is.